going to be doing at 6 o'clock. I wanted just to pop in and let everybody know at 6 o'clock I'll be doing a real estate training. And if you've ever thought about selling real estate, you're going to want to get on this training video. I've sold over 2,000 homes, and I'm currently starting to build a team and train multiple people at one time. So if you guys are wanting to learn how to sell real estate and you're wondering if now is the time to get into real estate or to buy real estate, I'm constantly every day training people on how to leverage, on why now is a good time to buy. And here's something that happened today. I'll share a little something. This lady was so concerned. She inherited a home. She's going to be moving somewhere and doesn't know if she should keep it because of the taxes and insurance of $1,600 a month maybe. But at the end of the day, she could rent it for $3,000 and at least $3,000 to $4,000 a month. So she'd be in a profit. She'd also be making about $45,000, $50,000 a year on appreciation. So it's always better to keep your property, even if it's in California, even with all the restrictions and rules and regulations, as long as you don't run out of cash. So you just got to keep some cash in the bank. I'm going to talk today about a quick little, at 6 o'clock, I will talk about how I got into real estate and why I chose real estate and why I believe that now is the best time to get into real estate right now. Around more. I'll jump back on this live video in just a minute here. All right, sorry about that. Got someone calling me. I'm going to jump on the training right now. All right, sorry about that. Got someone calling me. I'm going to jump on the training right now. So, lost my train of thought, but here's a new thought for you. Like most people, the last 5 years of my life, I've been a little bit of hiatus, doing multiple things, not really sure what I wanted to devote all my time to. But this is the true fact. Once you pick one thing and you give it 100%, you will succeed. I guarantee you. If you're willing to die or succeed, you're going to succeed. If you pick something, you give it everything. And that's what I did with real estate. I went 6 months without selling a house, did a hard money loan. I worked for a company. Nobody wanted to help you. Small company, big commission. 0 of 0 is 0. So you want to get coaching and training, guys. It's the number one thing. But I was blessed enough to have somebody tell me about new home sales, and if I've ever thought about that. So I ended up doing that, and I just learned, and I was a sponge, and I became the best because I got drive. I was hungry. You ever been hungry out there? I was hungry as a kid. I had a lot of energy, needed somewhere to put it. So I made a lot of dreams come true by selling over 2,000 homes, and you can do that too. So everybody, I've trained all kinds of different people, from stay-at-home moms to bartenders to people that barely spoke English that worked harder and even sold more. So all this is trainable, coachable, all right? So wherever you're starting, if you're in California, or tell me what state you're in if you guys are seeing this right now. So I'm about to have about 5 new people start selling real estate. They're making calls right now. And one of them is about to jump on. So when you're on, let me know. Hold on. So he's on. I got Aaron on right now. Aaron, thank you for jumping on here, brother. So he's going to start making calls. He actually just started making calls, but I told him to jump on this. So every Wednesday, I'm going to be doing this training at 6 o'clock, teaching you guys how to sell real estate, how to start. And Aaron and I met about almost 2 years ago. He was selling candy bars, okay? He just turned 18 years old. And he's ambitious. He's doing his own YouTube channel, and he's ready to start selling. So I told him the number one thing, get a coach. So he's going to put 100% in, and I'm going to teach him everything I know and get him to be my first millionaire, the youngest first millionaire. And my 2 boys will be the next ones, but they're 8 and 10 right now. So Aaron, I'm looking forward to getting this going, man. And what I'll do is have you jump on the next training and talk about how the calls have been going, because you just started today. So the biggest thing about real estate, guys, is the average agent sells 3 to 4 homes a year. The 3% that actually sell a house. So 97% get a license, 3% make it, and they sell 3 to 4 homes. And that's because, bottom line, they only know so many people. They don't have the confidence. They don't know what they're doing. They got to build up themselves in order to do it. So the way you do that is you get with somebody that's willing to take you under their wing. And I never had that, and I wanted that. Luckily, I got that from New Home Sales. And they took me through a boot camp, and they taught me just about everything You could learn from building rapport to what my personality type is. You've got to know all these things. You've got to understand yourself before you can understand others. And before I was talking about when you pick a career path, the reason people sell cars and solar and everything else is because real estate can be a little intimidating, seems a little more challenging. But here's the thing, guys. You're changing lives. You're teaching people to invest in themselves. You're teaching people how to build their own bank. And you're getting people financially free. And most of them don't even appreciate as much as they should. And they really don't realize that the better you become as an agent and the more passionate you are. Now, not everybody's going to listen. There's going to be a lot of people that are living in fear. Most people, that's your biggest challenge, is fear. I've talked so many, and Aaron, this is for you. So I'll give you a really quick script. How to turn any cold call into a warm lead. And I just ran into somebody that built their whole business calling homeowners. They set up parameters, but they set up parameters and they call anybody that's owned their home more than 5 to 10 years, and they just call and they list properties that way. And I've never heard of it in 22 years, anybody ever doing that. So I know when I was in the business originally, first 3 to 4 years of resale, which is about 12 years in, even back then I wasn't as good on the phone calls as I am now, because after I took 3 years off and I got back in, I started off with all my old leads, all my old Zillow leads, all my old contacts, and just started calling people. And I sold 12 homes after going cold turkey for 3 years. Sold 12 homes after the rates went up 4% in the hardest market since the 80s. And that was the top 2%. Top 2% that have been selling homes for 10, 20, 30 years. They were barely selling that. I mean, I started over. So what does that mean? I personally like cold calling. You can start off with open houses, but honestly, guys, there's no excuse if you get the right coach and you set up a system where you can either door knock, but honestly, I've done it all. But the most efficient way is phone calls. And the reason that is because you can turn any lead into a warm lead. And I'm going to tell you how to do that right now. And I learned this after I started over my career twice, after becoming a top agent and burning it all down and started all over. So when I make the phone calls, hi, you inquired, you can say however you need to start off, but hi, I'm calling with the Marshall Strong team. You inquired about real estate through Zillow a while back, and I was just checking in to see. It might have been 2-3 years ago, but we're just going through all of our leads and seeing if there's any interest in buying or selling a home right now. There you go, guys. Zillow charges $150 to $200 nurses or firefighters. There's a special program where they can get 100% financing, and that's the program that they inquired about. So when he's calling these contacts, he's going to say, hi, I'm calling the Marshall Strong team. You inquired about the Hometown Hero program a while back, and I was just checking in for him to see if you had any questions about the market as rates are going down before prices go up. Are you still planning on buying a home? Yes or no? It's real simple, guys. The biggest thing is it's all timing, but you got to be out there and you got to educate. So a lot of times they'll say, oh no, I'm waiting for the rates to go down. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. You know, they're actually going down, but you don't want to wait till they go down lower because you'll pay more and you'll have more challenge. You'll have a bigger challenge with more offers coming to the market. So the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of first-time buyers without any money, down payment assistance, could buy a home without getting beat out by tons of offers because, 80% of the homes, if they're priced right, if they're marketed right, and if they have the right agent, they're going to sell within 2 weeks. If they don't, that means one of those 3 things or all 3 things were wrong. And most of them just pull it off the market because there's not a lot of urgency to sell and give up that low rate right now. So with a lot of these leads, the average contact you got to make, Aaron, is 13. You got to touch these people 13, you got to reach out to these people 13 times on average. Now, I think it's about 90% of agents, don't quote me, but this has been numbers from a long time ago. 90% of agents reach out the first time, 70 the second, the third drops to like 30, the fourth drops to like 0 and 0 and 0 and 0. So the point is, stay in touch. They're not rejecting you. It's not the right time. If you call and provide value, and I like to shoot videos and drop them, and I like to text call when I'm constantly following up with about 400 leads that I have that I've already narrowed down from cold calling and the Zillow leads and all that over the last 2 years. And sometimes it takes 2, 5, 8, 10 years for these people to buy. When I started over again, I had one person that I worked with 5 years before that finally bought a home. Thank God, because I needed it back then. But at the end of the day, I wanted to sell it 5 years. She lost out on $150,000 because she kept thought the market was going to crash. She finally believed me, finally bought. So when you're making these calls, just remember it's a numbers game. That's all it is. So call them consistently, make notes, follow up, make notes in your calendar, on your phone, whatever you get a CRM. But right now, just go through them, keep track of how many people you talk to and how many are interested. Mark them as A, B, C. A, they're ready to buy right now, which in that case, you should be connecting them to me. B, they're ready in 30 days. C, they're gonna put it off because, maybe you lost a job or someone's credit, yada, yada. I'll get into, let's see. So I'm gonna start doing this every week. It's been a while for me, wanting to do this every week until I focus on one thing and get a lot of people on here to keep my attention, guys. It's gonna take some discipline. So I'm gonna tell you guys right now, every Wednesday I will teach you how to sell real estate. Really, you can take these techniques I teach you and sell anything. But at the end of the day, if you follow up, if you reach out and find the most efficient way for you to stay in contact with people and try to provide a service to actually help people. And for me, selling homes is easy because I'm doing a good thing. And as far as selling cars or anything else, I've never had, I honestly can't tell you why. I just never had a belief in it. The real estate, I think I just chose, if I'm going to sell something, the most expensive thing, the thing that helps the most was real estate. So that keeps my attention because it's the biggest thing. But again, guys, it took me 9 to 10 years of selling new homes to get back into resale because it's really hard to go from new home sales into resale when you're making $150,000, $200,000 a year, but you have no freedom, you have no life, you got to ask for days off. Couldn't stand that. So I took the chance, started over, and it took some time, and I learned a lot of hard lessons. On this channel, you will find out the best ways of doing everything. I spent $12,000 in a year to make no money off marketing, and then I learned that I had to spend a whole lot more. So it takes time, guys. It might take you 6 to 12 months to get a deal. But if you're working with 20,000 leads and you're constantly checking in with them every 3 months until they turn into a good lead, these are free leads. That Zillow was charging me over $200 a lead for, guys. It's expensive. And the thing about Zillow and Realtor.com and all these other things, they're building their own brand. So when I got out of real estate the first time, I stopped selling homes after selling 70 in 7 months. And I was spending a lot of money, but it was worth it. Believe me, making over $500,000 a year. Could have kept that going. And then when I started over, I started spending, what was this, about 30 grand in 6 months. And I basically barely got my money back. But that was because real estate interest rates went up to 7.5%, 8%. So timing's everything. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. I also have a lot of leads that I can keep working. So if you keep following up and stay in contact and set up all your systems, you'll be there when they're ready. And that's really it, guys. You have to be passionate. If you have to find you got to find your why as far as why you do. If it's just to make money, guys, you're going to give up real easy. For me, again, it was about freedom, getting people freedom. I did the math. When I bought 10 homes, I never have to work again. I just wanted security. And I did it. Did it by the age of 35 years old. I had 8 by 35. So the goal was 40. So I did it. That was my driving factor to showing up and getting stood up and getting cheated on all the time by clients with other people. And just staying the course was my goal of retirement. And if you guys find something that you want to make $1 million, you want whatever it is, the money doesn't matter. So why do you want to make it? So find that out. Why? Because I'm telling you, when your back's against the wall, you become the best version of you. If you want to take the island, you burn the boats. That's how you do it. So if you're thinking about getting into real estate, guys, and you're considering it and you want to get one-on-one coaching with me, message me, I'll contact you. Here's the guarantee. Every agent I've ever worked with has made $100,000 their first year thus far. So with that, even what was it, like the last time I charged someone and trained him was about 2 years ago. He was 19 years old. His name was Nick. He sold 12 homes his first year. So if you're in California, I will provide leads. I can do it all for you guys. I'm really motivated by serving people and getting people to live the best lives they possibly can. And the way you do that is by becoming a better version of yourself. So develop you every single day. I know Aaron's going to be doing that. And you guys will see some of the people I'm training on here. I'll have them on here. But if I had to tell you 3 things to make this the most valuable video you've ever seen, here's what I'll tell you. Number 1, get a coach that sold at least 50 to 100 homes in 1 year. At least one time. Because if you get a 10, 20, 30, even the agents selling 20, 30, even the company I worked at, the number 1 company, 450 agents, there was only about 4 or 5 people selling over 50 homes a year. And that's the way, even though they don't want to share with you things, that's the way I became the best, is that I watched what they did and I copied it. It's real easy, guys. You got to become great at sales, and then you got to spend money, and you got to market. You can do the slow way. It all depends on where you are currently, but I will teach you the best way. So number 1 is get a coach. Number 2, live off 33% of your money that you make. Live off 33% of your money. And as a new agent, I would spend 66%. I live off 33, save 33, and spend 33% on your marketing. And do that and keep it the same no matter what. Where I went wrong is I started investing 66%. I've always lived off 33. It's pretty easy to do that. You just stay where you are and make more money and don't blow it. And go put it in your brand and yourself. Instead of buying the 8 homes, I'm gonna tell you a secret. Instead of buying the 8 homes in 2018, spending 80 grand to buy 8 homes, I had a team. If I would have been a better version of myself, which I wasn't, but now looking back, I could become that. I would have spent that money. I would have passed up on the houses. I would have focused everything on building that team. And I would have spent some of that money on marketing, and I would have recruited, but I wasn't that person. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I'm going to show you, if you stay with this channel, I will show you how fast I'm going to build this, because I've already done it. I did it, but I just didn't know what I didn't know, and I did too many things, and now I'm here. So if I would have had a coach that could have sold me to listen to him, I would have done it. But I've had coaches, but none of them did what I've ever done. So they weren't able to sell me on why I should do it their way. So all selling is being passionate and providing a service, guys. So what did I say? So I'll give you 3 things. I give you get a coach, I give you 33% rule. Third one would be, if you make an hour of phone calls a day for 5 days a week, you will make $100,000 a year in real estate, statistically. That's all you got to do, guys. You can run Facebook ads that are cheap. You can run YouTube. You can run whatever you want to do. You don't have to run ads. You can knock on doors. You can make phone calls. But if you get with somebody, if you're in California, reach out to me. Actually, anywhere I could help you. But if you're in California, I could actually help you for free. You could become a member of my brokerage, and I will train you for free. I will even provide leads. I will show you how to do it all. And I'm starting to build a team in Fresno right now. And you're going to see some of the team members on here, and they're going to be making phone calls, and they're going to be learning and teaching, because at the end of the day, if you're not putting in the reps, you're not going to become the best. You have to put in the reps. You have to put in the reps. So I think I could get deeper into all this, but since there's not too many people on here right now, I'm going to leave you guys with that. If you want to get on next Wednesday, message me if you want to actually get on the video, and we can strategize for you and ask questions. Can answer anything you want to answer, guys. Can even debate whatever you want to do, guys. So next Wednesday, I'm going to jump off now. Next Wednesday, get on 6 p.m. next Wednesday, and we'll see you guys on the next one.